The Steelers take down the Patriots 21-14. They are now 2-1 on the season. Aaron Rodgers comes through late with a clutch touchdown to take the lead to Calvin Austin. The Steelers are able to capitalize off a bunch of Patriots fumbles, a Drake May red zone interception, and ultimately they edge out the Patriots in a game that was really lackluster, to say the least, from the Steelers offense. And the Steelers offense is putting too much on Aaron Rodgers' plate right now. Aaron Rodgers is 40-something years old. The dude has 1 foot out of the door, and he's about to retire after this season. And the Steelers are trying to get every little ounce of juice that Aaron Rodgers has left in him by asking him to carry an offense that's lacking the necessary firepower to win with a guy like Aaron Rodgers that's in the last stage of his career. You can't ask a guy like Aaron Rodgers that's 150 years old, that's a dinosaur fossil in the pocket. He can't move. He can't run to save his life. He cannot run defensive tackles. He cannot run defensive ends. Aaron Rodgers is a pocket quarterback. When he gets outside the pocket, he gets fucked up. Like, Aaron Rodgers has taken some really bad hits outside the pocket, and we're only 3 weeks through this season. Aaron Rodgers is not going to survive the entirety of this season without missing some time this year, with how bad this Steelers offensive line has looked. Now, the offensive line is slightly better than what it was last year, but it still isn't that good. Aaron Rodgers is out there having to run around like he's Lamar Jackson, when he isn't. The dude is a fossil. And yet, the Steelers are hoping that the ground game can end up opening up some things and take some of the load off of Aaron Rodgers in the passing attack. The ground game isn't going to open up. Jaylen Warren is not an RB1. He's only an RB1 because of the Steelers whiffing on Caleb Johnson. Caleb Johnson, I was never a fan of the pick. You got rid of Najee Harris because he was too slow. He lacked explosiveness. And you replace him with a running back that has a similar athletic profile to Najee Harris, that also is pretty big, isn't that explosive, and doesn't really have a lot of breakaway speed. And he can't take care of the football either. At least Najee Harris didn't fumble. So Caleb Johnson, you can't get him involved on the offense. You can't get him involved on special teams. He's a dud. It doesn't take that long to realize guys who can't play and guys who can play. Running back is an instant impact position. Either you're good or you're not. And it doesn't take long to figure out. And Caleb Johnson is not good. So you're relying on Jaylen Warren, a guy who's more so a scat back, a really good receiving back that does have the ability to run the football and break off a few explosive plays here and there, but he's not a guy that you give 15, 16, 17 carries a game to. You got Kenneth Gainwell, but what is he? The Steelers don't have anything at running back. So you give Aaron Rodgers an inconsistent young offensive line, no run game, and only one reliable receiver to throw the football to, and DK Metcalf. And you're only targeting DK 6-7 times per game. With DK being the only reliable receiver that you have, you should be giving DK Metcalf at least 10 targets or more per game. Yes, Calvin Austin is a good deep threat, but he's not a guy who you can rely on to consistently move the chains for you. The Steelers need major help at running back and the receiver if they're going to be able to win at least a playoff game with Aaron Rodgers this year. This is why I was against the Steelers trading away George Pickens. If you're going to roll the dice on Aaron Rodgers for 1 year, it would make sense that he has both George Pickens and DK Metcalf, because the more weapons that he has to throw to, the better. But instead, you trade away George Pickens without having a real contingency plan for how you're going to replace him in motion. You trade away George Pickens And then you're scrambling at the last minute, trying to find a way to make a Terry McLaurin trade happen, trying to get some last minute good receivers off the market in free agency, trying to get somebody off the trade block when it already is too little too late. All of the good receivers that can really have a big impact on changing your season are already off the market. DK Metcalf should be getting at least 10, 11 targets per game. He's one of the highest paid receivers in the league, so he should be earning that contract. The Steelers aren't using DK Metcalf enough. You should be force-feeding him the ball. The Steelers don't have a lot of weapons on offense. So when you have somebody that's built like a freight truck at receiver, you should be finding ways to get him the ball. And it doesn't always have to involve Aaron Rodgers throwing it to him. Put DK Metcalf out Wildcat quarterback. Call some design quarterback runs with DK in that Wildcat QB and see what happens. The Steelers can get a lot more out of DK Metcalf than what they're getting out of him to just throwing him go balls or jump balls in the red zone. DK Metcalf needs to be more involved in the Steelers offense with the amount of cap space that he's taken up. They should have kept George Pickens. And I still am dying on this hill that George Pickens would have made the Steelers a sleeper Super Bowl team if he was still around with Aaron Rodgers. This offense, here's the problem that the Steelers have. The Steelers never have a long-term plan on offense. Every offseason, they just go off what they can best put together. They don't have no vision when it comes to building this offense. They're just like, what can we do to get by for this season? Get us to the next year. There is no long-term strategy involved in the Steelers offense. It's not, we're going to get Aaron Rodgers and we're going to let him play out this season and we're going to target this quarterback in next year's draft. No, everything is just a year-to-year thing with Pittsburgh. That's what this offense has been since the retirement of Big Ben. And it's not just all on Mike Tomlin. It's a front office thing too. And that's why the Steelers are looking the way that they look on offense. If it isn't the defense helping this offense out by giving them easy field position, you're pulling teeth asking the Steelers to give you a full-length drive that's 80, 70 yards downfield for a touchdown. They have a hard time being able to do it. And eventually, the defense is going to get worn out. And the defense has already been uncharacteristically bad. So imagine how worse this defense could look at the end of this season if the offense doesn't improve. Now, maybe the defense can improve. Maybe it's a good thing that the defense is struggling this early for the Steelers, because maybe the issue is they play too good early, and that's why they play bad down the stretch, because they run out of juice. Maybe if they play bad early, they'll carry this offense late down the stretch. But until the Steelers trade for a running back and a receiver, they're putting too much on Grandpa Aaron Rodgers' plate right now. He's asking too much, and he's not going to last this season. That brother's out there getting bent all kinds of ways